The financial markets are showing their usual rhythm. Green here, red there. CNBC is talking about tech stocks, and Bloomberg has their usual talking heads spouting off about market resilience. But something eerie is happening that no one seems to acknowledge. Something that could turn everything upside down. Right now, in the world of silver, we're seeing something that has not happened in over a decade, and it's being completely overlooked. While most of the world's attention is on more mainstream stories, something crucial is happening under the surface, and it's not just a blip, it's a shift. This is no ordinary market event. This isn't just about numbers or charts. It's about a very real crisis that's now unfolding. And if you've been paying attention, you might already know that the price of silver, especially physical silver, has just shattered records. But why? And more importantly, what does it mean for you? If you're still watching, you're already realizing something's off. This isn't just another minor fluctuation in the markets. This is something deeper, something that could reshape the future of silver and everything it represents. What if I told you the financial world has just cracked wide open and the real story isn't being covered by the mainstream outlets? The truth is, we're witnessing a historic shift in the precious metals market, and it's all tied to something much bigger than the price tags you see flashing on your screen. Let me break it down. While the mainstream media continues to distract you with their standard stories, the physical silver market is telling us something completely different. A critical, undeniable shift is happening, and it's already begun. But most are too distracted to even notice. Why is this happening? What does it mean for you? And what are the forces behind this sudden surge in silver prices? Here's the claim that should rattle you. The physical silver market has just completely decoupled from the paper market, and it's not going back. This is no longer a commodity play. We're talking about something entirely different, a crisis proxy. And here's the kicker. American silver eagles, the most watched coin in the industry, just hit $100. Yes, you heard that right, $100. That's not the spot price. The spot price is still sitting at $85.55, but that's not what you're paying at the dealer's counter. The price you're paying is $100. In just 48 hours, the market has completely shifted. Now, before you jump to conclusions, take a moment, notice what's missing from this picture. Why is there such a huge gap? The mainstream outlets aren't telling you this. Why is no one acknowledging the massive disconnect between the paper price and what you actually pay? We're no longer dealing with just numbers on a screen. We're watching a collapse in confidence in real time. But here's where it gets even more unsettling. This isn't just an anomaly, it's escalating fast. What you're seeing now is the start of something much bigger, something systemic. The situation is already starting to resemble previous market crises, but with one huge difference. The usual safety nets aren't in place. We're watching an unprecedented situation unfold in the silver market. Think back to historical events where panic set in. This feels eerily similar. It's not just a blip or a temporary spike. This is a shift, and it's moving rapidly. The market is realizing what the physical supply of silver truly represents. And now this shift is spreading beyond silver itself. It's spreading into the broader financial system. This is the kind of thing that makes markets unstable. When the physical market starts acting like this, decoupling, moving without the paper markets, it signals a breakdown that the system wasn't ready for. And trust me, what comes next isn't going to be pretty. Now we're diving into the next layer. This is where it gets even more disturbing. The gap between the paper price and the physical price isn't just a coincidence, it's a warning sign. And the evidence is staring us right in the face. When I checked the dealers this morning, the prices on American Silver Eagles weren't just $100. Some dealers were listing them for $102, $105, even higher. And the smaller regional dealers, they were completely out of stock. People were buying anything they could get their hands on, eagles, maples, generic rounds, anything. This is no ordinary premium spike. A 17% premium, that's not just a sign of tight supply, it's an alarm bell. You might think it's just temporary, but what if I told you that this premium is just the beginning? Here's the real kicker. This is no longer just retail demand. This is a full-blown panic mode from institutional buyers. And that's why the prices are skyrocketing. When big players realize they can't get what they want at the paper price, they start bidding in the physical market, and that's when the price breaks free. Things are moving fast now. Let me give you a snapshot of how quickly this is all spiraling. We're not just dealing with a few big spikes or isolated events. No, we're stacking crisis on top of crisis. I just heard from a contact at a mid-sized dealer in Texas. Their weekend sales 4 times higher than usual. People were scrambling, buying anything. Anything they could get before the $100 mark became the new psychological barrier. And it's not just in one place, it's happening everywhere. Every dealer is reporting unprecedented levels of demand, but the supply, it's shrinking fast. Now think about this. What happens if this continues? If more people panic buy, if the dealers can't keep up, and if the physical supply continues to drain? We're on the edge of a complete market disruption. When the physical market reacts like this, it's a signal something's broken and it's spreading. This is no longer just a market shift. We're on the brink of something much bigger, something that could change everything. The financial system has just been put on notice. The silver market is telling us the truth. Something is deeply wrong. Let's take a step back and bring this home, because while the markets are moving fast, what does this really mean for you? This isn't just a numbers game anymore. The decisions being made in these markets are about real people, the middle class, everyday people like you and me. When the silver market spikes, when the premiums go through the roof, it's not just the wealthy getting in, it's the regular folks looking for a safe haven. You don't need to be an investor to feel this. Look at how this affects the person on the street who's trying to protect their savings. This is the fear-driven accumulation event we're seeing. People are buying because they know they need something real to hold on to. Silver isn't just a commodity, it's insurance. If you're feeling that same tension, that same fear that you might be missing out, say so in the comments. What are you doing to protect yourself? Now let's move beyond just the panic and outrage, because this isn't just about fear, it's about understanding the systems at play. And here's the unsettling truth. The system is rigged. The reason why this is happening isn't just because of a few rogue players. It's because the entire structure is built to maintain control. We're seeing the effects of leverage, incentives, and fear. These are the hidden forces that keep the system going. The financial elites, the ones in charge of the paper market, have always been able to suppress the price of silver, but the moment trust is shattered, the entire system starts to crack. The Federal Reserve has always been seen as this untouchable, steady hand guiding the economy. But now, with the DOJ investigation into Jerome Powell, that image is crumbling. The silver market is revealing the fragility of the entire system. And what happens when the system loses its credibility? Price discovery becomes violent, people stop trusting the paper, and they rush to the real thing. And that's exactly what's happening now. So where do we go from here? The next steps are murky. This is uncharted territory, but what we do know is that there are 2 paths forward, and both of them are high stakes. First, we might see the market cool off for a bit. After all, the paper market could make a short-term comeback. The comics might hike margin requirements to force retail traders to sell off positions. If that happens, you could see silver prices dip, maybe to $80, maybe even lower. But here's the twist. That could be the perfect setup for the next big surge. If the Fed and the financial system try to regain control, they'll be forced to act in ways that'll only drive people further into hard assets. The silver market could see an even bigger push upwards into uncharted territory. 150, maybe more. The next move is already forming behind the scenes, but nobody knows for sure how it's going to play out. The volatility is going to be insane. You'll see big moves up and down, and every time the market pulls back, the panic will just fuel more buying. And here's the bottom line. The Federal Reserve opened Pandora's box when they thought they could keep the illusion of control forever. But now, the truth is out. The physical silver market is the canary in the coal mine, and it's telling us everything we need to know. The $100 floor for silver is not the top, it's just the beginning. We've seen the premium gap explode. The paper market is being left behind, and once the trust is broken, there's no turning back. If you're still sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment to act, time is running out. The institutions are positioning themselves. The retail wave hasn't even begun. The landscape is shifting daily, and if you don't act soon, you'll find yourself locked out. Stay sharp, stay informed, and trust the physical reality over the paper illusion. This is just the start. And if you want to keep up with the changes that are coming, hit that follow button, because the next chapter is already unfolding.